Welcome back to our Stony Creek journey. Thanks for joining us. Another fun week on the farm with Paul Robert, one-arm farmer. It's amazing how much having one arm less of the most helpful person affects our farming, and it's very frustrating for him, but he's doing so good. But fun and games this morning. I found a cockatoo in my blueberry patch this morning, so I wanted to put up some star pickets and put some netting over the blueberries. They're not ripe yet, but the cocky was there, and it's not going to be too long until it's getting into them. So I got Robert to help me hold one so I could bang it in, and he said, I hope there's no pipe there. And we checked the irrigation, but what we didn't know was underneath where we were putting the star picket or T-post, there was the pipe to the trough. So we went straight through it, and there's water gushing everywhere. So we're going to have to go in and get another joiner and fix that pipe, because that actually also feeds our toilet. So that's fun and games, but we'll sort that out. But down on the corn patch, the corn is growing great, and I'm about to plant my third lot. I'll show you the corn. The second batch is growing better than the first batch, but it's still growing well. And last week I said we were going to get a frost, and this was the result of the frost. But they're growing, so the frost didn't kill them completely off, which is fantastic. In my main garden bed, I've got lots of beans that are volunteered in the pathways. So what I've done is I've pulled some out and come and planted them. Tried to do a bit of a three-sister or a two-sister bean and corn, so that one's looking a bit better. I don't know if they'll survive the transplant, but we'll see. So today I'm going to plant my next lot of corn in here. I'll show you the pipe that we broke. Oops. This is the corn I'm planting today, and I planted it on the 10th of October, and we are the 2nd of November today, so it's grown really well. A couple of little volunteer tomatoes, which must have been in the compost, so we'll see if they grow with them. But I'll pop this lot in. Third corn patch done, planted and in. Look at the Jerusalem artichokes behind them. They're going really well now. I thought for a while I couldn't see them, but it'll be interesting to see if they take over too much. We're going to have to pull some out. But now we've got 3 lots of corn in. So here's the pipe that we went through. We've just cut the ends so that we can get the joiner on. Pipe repaired. So this was the, what do you call that, Robert?
Joiner.
The joiner. So no more leaks going up or down. That was a bit of hard work, wasn't it?
One-handed, yes.
With the one-handed farmer.
Yep.
Trying to get him not to use his hand. But I've learnt a little bit today.
Yep, Tony can now fix the pipe.
So let's get back to the things we were going to do. So that's 3 hours out of our day that we hadn't planned, but it's fixed. That's the main thing.
I've got my trusty driver. We're heading down the back to pick up some sheep panels and collect some poo. See how long this takes me one day. Paddock that we just moved the girls and Tex into, they knocked their float valve off their water trough, so I've just it's taken about 15 minutes to do a 5-minute job with one hand, so I've just reattached the backing block that I had on there. I don't know how they got it off, but they haven't broken anything apart from the bracket had stopped holding it properly, and they'd flipped it over the top. The float valve flipped it over, and the water trough was leaking badly. So I'll fix that, and I've got the tote up there that's full, so it's gravity feeding down to their water. Beautiful morning this morning. It's a bit cool to start with, but the sun's starting to come up now, and at least once a week I have to go along and find where an electrical short is, and this time the short is somewhere I've isolated down to this area here on the creek where something is shorting out somewhere, so I'm just trying to find that. But looking at my poplars on the creek, they're starting to leaf up. That one there has green leaves, and I've got another one here somewhere. Where did I put it? Here it is, up here. That has red leaves. So I didn't think this one would take, but it's certainly starting to leaf up. There's another one over there that's leafing up nicely. Luckily the cows, when they were in here, didn't push these ones over as they did on the laneway yesterday. They pushed one of the trees over and snapped it off at the base. I wasn't quick enough. And which was the culprit? It was Spring Rain, that one there, that girl there. She was the culprit. Hello Tex. How are you, big boy? Are you good this morning? Are you? What are you doing? Hey. Hey. How are you? He's in a good mood. But they're in this new break and enjoying the... Is that right, Tex? He just threw his head in the air. Hey? I'll continue and try and find this short. I found the short. It was a roll of wire that's rolled itself up against the hot wire there. So that's an easy fix. Just move the roll, which I brought down to repair that part of the fence line along the creek when I eventually get my hand back. I had a sneaking suspicion that the cows would damage the trees down the laneway, and they did. One of them snapped one of the poplars off right at the base. Even though we were supervising them, it didn't actually work. So this, the poplars have done really well down along the laneway. As you can see, there's two here at the end of the laneway, and I've got 20 in total along the laneway, and I think I've got 3 that have not taken so well, but it'll take all of summer to come before we can plant any more to replace the ones that didn't take. And I don't think I'll be able to save the one that I showed you in the water trough, but we'll see. But we won't know if that one takes until next year now, so that'll slow down the progress. But the majority of them are doing really well. They'll look good in a couple of years. Hi there. While it's quiet, I've got the pump turned off. I'm watering the trees up the driveway, seeing them as on light duties due to my hand. Can't do much. Everything takes twice as long, if not 3 times as long. But I thought they're not due for another 2 or 3 days. But I thought while I'm at it, I might as well water the trees up the driveway. And they've done really well. This is their second spring, and when I planted them, they were only sticks basically, probably only a foot long, 30 centimetres. And they've all done really well. I'll turn the camera around so you can see what they look like. So we've had 100% success on all the trees up the driveway, and there's about 40 oaks, of a pin oak and what's the other one? A scarlet oak, and I can't remember which one's which. So you can distinctly see the difference between that one, for example, which I think might be a pin oak, and this one up here, which is a scarlet oak. and they're all above the tree guards now, which is, what is it? Well, it comes up to my pocket, so it's probably 500-600 high, 700 high. So they're all looking really good, but I've managed to keep the water off, or the water up to them all through summer and coming into autumn and now into winter, seeing as we still haven't had any decent rain to wet the ground enough to keep the trees going. The poplars are looking good down the bottom. I'm heading back to the water tanker to start them. And we've got 6 poplars along here, which I just planted as poles, just banged them in, well, dug a hole and banged them in the ground as a stick, and they've come up nicely. So you can see there's 4 along here, and there's 1 on each side of the culvert on that side. So they look really good. Happy with their progress, but I just turned the fence off so I can get into this dam area and water the trees in there. Moving time for the sheep. Come on, come on. And we'll just leave the gate open and the cows will make their way through. Yep. And here comes Yuzuri and the Burger Boys. Tommy remembers who we are. He's got a big fat tummy because he's been in the crop. Hello, Yuzuri.
Hello, darling. Let's pat it. Come on, boys.
This is one of our maternity wards for the chickens, and Miss Fuzzy Wuzzy has 6 little chicks that she hatched out that are doing really well. They're probably nearly 2 weeks old. They're cute as a button. And then we've got another one over here that's meant to be sitting on eggs. Oh, she's just gone back in to sit down. She just came out for a feed and a drink. So that's another maternity ward that we've got set up. I'm not sure how long she's been sitting, probably only a week. It's Alan's turn out today with his Australops and the other bits, other birds that he's looking after. And here's another hen that's gone broody that's sitting on eggs, and she's in her own little dedicated area in amongst the chicken coop. We don't like them going broody and nesting in the egg laying boxes because it actually puts the other chooks off laying. So by getting them out, thank you, Arnie. By getting them out, they don't upset the other hens as much. But she's only been sitting for probably only about 4 or 5 days now, and she's got about a clutch of 6 eggs underneath her. So we'll see what she produces.
We've popped Miss Fuzzy Wuzzy and her 6 little chicks into the orchard for perhaps the next couple of weeks because she's very protective and she's fighting off any other hens that come near her. So we've made a little special sleeping area for her, got the food out, and she will enjoy teaching the chicks how to be chooks. I think there's a couple of roosters in there, but they should enjoy it, so we'll check on them later. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, we'll see you back on the farm.